Chapter 10. Hear you the word which the Lord speaks unto you, O house of Israel. Thus saith the Lord, Learn not the way of the nations, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the nations are dismayed at them. For the customs of the peoples are vanity, for it is but a tree which one cutteth out of the forest, the work of the hands of the workman with an axe. They deck it with silver and with gold, they fasten it with nails and with hammers, that it move not. They are like a pillar in a garden of cucumbers, and speak not. They must needs be borne, because they cannot go. Be not afraid of them, for they cannot do evil, neither is it in them to do good. There is none like unto you, O Lord. You art great, and your name is great in might. Who would not fear you, O King of the nations? For it befitteth you, forasmuch as among all the wise men of the nations, and in all their royalty, there is none like unto you. But they are altogether brutish and foolish. The vanities by which they are instructed are but a stock. Silver beaten into plates which is brought forth from Tarshish, and gold from Uphaz, the work of the craftsman and of the hands of the goldsmith. Blue and purple is their clothing. They are all the work of skillful men. But the Lord God is the true God. He is the living God, and the everlasting King. At his wrath the earth trembleth, and the nations are not able to abide his indignation. Thus shall you say unto them, The gods that have not made the heavens and the earth, these shall perish from the earth and from under the heavens. He that hath made the earth by his power, and he that has established the world by his wisdom, and hath stretched out the heavens by his understanding, at the sound of his giving a multitude of waters in the heavens, when he causeth the vapors to ascend from the ends of the earth, and when he maketh lightnings with the rain, and bringeth forth the wind out of his treasuries. Every man is proved to be brutish, without knowledge. Every goldsmith is put to shame by the graven image. His molten image is falsehood, and there is no breath in them. They are vanity, a work of delusion. In the time of their visitation they shall perish. Not like these is the portion of Jacob, for he is the former of all things, and Israel is the tribe of his inheritance. The Lord of hosts is his name. Gather up your wares from the ground, O you that abidest in the siege. For thus saith the Lord, Behold, I will sling out the inhabitants of the land at this time, and will distress them, that they may feel it. Woe is me for my hurt. My wound is grievous. But I said, This is but a sickness, and I must bear it. My tent is spoiled, and all my cords are broken. My children are gone forth of me, and they are not. There is none to stretch forth my tent any more, and to set up my curtains. For the shepherds are become brutish, and they have not inquired of the Lord. Therefore they have not prospered, and all their flocks are scattered. Hark, a report. Behold, it comes, and a great commotion out of the north country, to make the cities of Judah desolate, a dwelling place of jackals. O Lord, I know that man's way is not his own. It is not in a man to direct his steps as he walks. O Lord, correct me, but in measure, not in your anger, lest you diminish me. Pour out your wrath upon the nations that know you not, and upon the families that call not on your name. For they have devoured Jacob. Yes, they have devoured him and consumed him, and have laid waste his habitation. All right, let's go back up to verse 1. Yesterday we remember once again, Jeremiah declaring this tongue of these ones who stand up there that are deceiving the people, that are leading everybody astray. They've got everybody thinking it's a great and wonderful and a pleasant thing, declaring peace, peace, and there is no peace, and every neighbor is deceiving his neighbor, and brother deceiving brother. This is what goes on. This is what went on then. This is what goes on today, because there's nothing ever going to change. Their tongue is compared to a bow and an arrow that shoots forth deceit. They tell lies, and they prosper by these lies and these gains, and have made themselves a fat seat. And the prophets have declared, by this they'll be made known. They were then, they will be this day. They are image worshippers, are what they are called, idolaters, as the prophets compare them to. And this is what has caused great problems in all the earth. Why? They have given something that can be seen, where God himself cannot be seen with the eye, must be seen with the ear. We're going to pick this up there in verse 1. Hear you the word which the Lord speaks unto you, O house of Israel. So listen, Israel, all you that are scattered in all the nations. He declared he was going to do this, even you, Judah. 2. Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the nations, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the nations are dismayed at them. Don't worry about what you see the rest of the nations doing, the heathen, these nations of the world. See, because God's working a great work. God's doing a great and marvelous sign. Be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, this host which he give them to worship. For the nations are dismayed at them. They don't understand these things, and they bow down and worship the host thereof. 3. For the customs of the peoples are vanity. For it is but a tree which one cutteth out of the forest, the work of the hands of the workman with the axe. And the customs of the peoples, and it was the custom at that time of all the other nations, not Israel, not Jacob, we're going to find out. They was brought forth for a different purpose. See, that's what the circumcision was about in the other chapters. See, this was the division. God divided them in the flesh from everybody else. This was what it was about. For the rest of the nations, see, their customs are a waste of time. Their customs are emptiness. For it is but a tree. It's a piece of wood. It's something that's been made. It's one cut it out of the forest. See, that's what it is. It's the work of the hands of the workman with an axe. And it's an idol is what it is. It's an idol. It stands for idolatry. 4. They deck it with silver and with gold. They fasten it with nails and with hammers, that it move not. They deck it, and we'll find out where they get their gold and where they get their silver. The silver is that which is caused to pass through the fire, see. Even this silver, we'll find out, will become a refuge silver that's no good. See, it's no good. It didn't get refined. They did not do it correctly. And the gold always belongs to God anyway. This is God's, and these are the things that they take from God and put into their image, and they fasten it with nails and hammers that it move not. They've had to nail it up there so it don't fall down. 5. They are like a pillar in a garden of cucumbers, and speak not. They must needs be born, because they cannot go. Be not afraid of them, for they cannot do evil, neither is it in them to do good. See, and it's not possible, because we'll find it's just a stick with something on it. They are like a pillar in a garden of cucumbers. This garden of cucumbers ain't really right. It be like a palm tree would be. They're like a pillar. They're like something made stiff and straight. See, they can't say nothing. It's just like a stick stood up. They must needs be born. They got to be carried around. Why? Because they can't go by themselves. See, you got to carry it. It can't carry you. Be not afraid of them. Be not afraid of these things, stuff like this, because they can't do nothing. There's nothing they can do. They can't do evil. They can't do good. The words of men go forth and do evil now. See, and it's not in man or in these that they could do good. 6, there is none like unto you, O Lord. You are great, and your name is great in might. For God has done all these things. We'll find out. See, you're not really in control of your steps. You say, well, I'll go do this. And it's the Lord that sent you forth to do it before it entered your mind. See, there's none like unto God. God controls all things. God created the heavens. God created the earth. God gave all the heavens for the nations to worship. See, he is great. His name's great in might. He has great strength and power, as we're going to find out, through the marvelous work that he has done. 7. Who would not fear you, O King of the nations? For it befitteth you. For as much as among all the wise men of the nations and all their royalty, there is none like unto you, who would not fear God. He is the one you can't see, who worketh all things, who laid it out from the beginning, and even from the beginning, declaring the end of all things. See, this fits God. This is what God is. Who, among all the wise men of the nations, go get those of great knowledge, those of great understanding, all the royalty, these things, the kings, all about their kings, and all this is because this is what they'll always choose. There's none like unto God. 8. But they altogether are brutish and foolish. The vanities by which they are instructed are but a stock. See, they are altogether consumed. This brutish is like being burned up, consumed. A fire has burned them up. They have no understanding that they are being burned, and they're foolish. This word foolish would not be foolish. It is the word for stupid. See, they're just stupid. And the vanities by which they are instructed are but a stock. These wastes of time, all these things that they do, these ceremonies, these abominations they commit before the Lord God, which he commanded, you shall not do. They are instructed but of a stock. And this stock, this is the representation of what a man is made. It's a stump. See, that's all it is. It's just a stump. Something man has made and set up. 9. Silver, beaten into plates, which is brought from Tarshish, and gold from Uphaz, the work of the craftsman in the hands of the goldsmith. Blue and purple is their clothing. They are all the work of skillful men. And this is where they get it. This silver, which is beaten into plates, which is brought from Tarshish. Tarshish is a stony region. Stony regions, these stones, they appear to be gold, but they're not. It's like fool's gold, see? And these stones that are all over the ground, the stones that are there are the words of men that have fell on the ground, and they're the ankle breakers, and this silver are the lies they have told and caused the souls to pass through the fire. The gold from Uphaz, this gold, once again, the gold always belongs to God. Uphaz is that place of fine gold, that place of where gold can be found in a pure form. See, and these are the things of God. These are the things that belong to God. See, but they've took these things and put it over into their image, and this is the work of the craftsman. The hands of the goldsmith, he that worketh the gold, he that has the words. Blue and purple is their clothing. Blue and purple. These are colors of royalty. These are because this is what they did. The prophets told us they would go to the king with some ointment and try to heal the people. But we'll find that it did not work. They are all the work of skillful men. And any image, any idol, anything you can see, are the work of the mouths of men. We know for a fact, because God told us, you shall not make you an image of heaven nor earth, man nor woman, nor beast of any kind. No image, nothing you can see, because this is what will lead you astray every time. See, God gave you the law for your protection, for your own good, not to do you harm. 10. The Lord God is the true God. He is the living God, an everlasting King. At his wrath the earth trembles, and the nations are not able to abide his indignation. See, God, there's only one God, and he is one. He is the true God. He is the living God. He is alive. He is God that lives. He is God that talks to men. He is the everlasting King, and there is no other. In his anger, the whole earth trembles. Why? Because the words of men are brought to naught, and the nations are not able to abide his indignation. Indignation, stored up wrath and anger, pent up fury. See, they'll not be able to abide, for the Lord has poured out his fury onto the earth. He did then, he does today. 11. Thus shall you say unto them, the gods that have not made the heavens and the earth, these shall perish from the earth and from under the heavens. And that's what's going to happen. These nada gods, all these works of men, shall perish. They're not going to last. They come to their end. Sooner or later, they're made known. Sooner or later, it comes out. The sin creeps back in. The work's not done. This is what happens, see. 12, he that hath made the earth by his power, that has established the world by his wisdom, and has stretched out the heavens by his understanding. That's who will be left. One, he was the God in the beginning. He will be the only God in the end. 13, at the sound of his giving, a multitude of waters in the heaven. When he causeth the vapors to ascend from the ends of the earth, when he maketh lightnings with the rain, and bringeth forth the wind out of his treasuries. And we'll find that this is the north. Once again, he's going to bring down all this confusion, a great storm of lightnings, truths going forth, rain, truth coming down, washing away, cleansing the earth. The sound of his giving, at the sound of his voice. See, when he gives his voice, it's like a multitude of waters in the heavens, like a roaring sea. Why, the great commotion, for all the host of heavens, all these which they worship, are destroyed. 14, every man is proved to be brutish, without knowledge. Every goldsmith is put to shame by the graven image. His molten image is falsehood, and there is no breath in them. And every man that worships these idols, every man is proved to be consumed. Consumed by what? His ignorance, because he is without knowledge. See, he will find, they didn't seek after the Lord. They didn't go to God for understanding. They went and made them something else, wherein by they could prosper. Every goldsmith, those that impute these things that belong to God, let's say, this belongs to God, but go through our image, is put to shame by the graven image. See, your image has put you to shame. His molten image is falsehood. Yes, molten image. See, that which is went through the fire, it's been molten. It's been, because it's the furnace of affliction. These are the words of men. And these are deceit, lies, falsehood. There is no breath in them. They're ignorance. It's a hunk of wood. It cannot move. It cannot speak. 15, they are vanity, a work of delusion. In the time of their visitation, they shall perish. And that's what they are. That's a waste of time. It's a work of delusion, imagination, and falsehood. And at the time of their visitation, they shall perish. This is the roaring waters we would hear in the heavens, as all these idols are brought to naught through their ignorance, through their imagery. 16, not like these is the portion of Jacob. For he is the former of all things, and Israel is the tribe of his inheritance. The Lord of hosts is his name. See, not like Jacob, not like, for he is the former of all things. See, Jacob don't have an image. Jacob don't worship an image. Israel don't have an image. They don't worship the image. They don't worship the creation of man. It's God who gives the law. Him shall you have understanding by. See, this is the beginning. No image did you see. No image did you see. 17, gather up your wares from the ground, O you that abidest in the siege. Gather up your wares, pick up your pack, pick up your baggage there, pick up your luggage. 18, for thus saith the Lord, behold, I will sling out the inhabitants of the land at this time, and will distress them, that they may feel it. And that's what God did. See, God slung the inhabitants out at that time. Slung them out, sent them into Babylon. See, Babylon came in and took over. Confusion. See, but not once. Twice would they have to pay for this. Twice, and we're going to find out twice did they go to Babylon. 19, woe is me for my hurt. My wound is grievous. But I said, this is but a sickness, and I must bear it. This wound that God has been given even, where he has to, we'll find, destroy his tents, let his tents down, send his children off into punishment. See, but the Lord has to bear. And they did cause the Lord to bear this. 20, my tent is spoiled, and all my cords are broken. My children are gone forth of me, and they are not. There is none to stretch forth my tent any more, and to set up my curtains. See, my tent is spoiled. God's tent is spoiled. His tent. There where he was first put his name. There where he first spoke from. My cords are broken. These cords, that which holds the tent. These are the laws of God. The tent is the covenant in which he made. They're gone forth. The children are gone forth. They don't set it up no more. They are not. There is none to stretch forth my tent, and none to set up my curtains. None stretches forth the tent of God. And these curtains, well, these curtains are those things that contain, these which hold, they protect the understanding. 21. For the shepherds are become brutish, and have not inquired of the Lord. Therefore they have not prospered, and all their flocks are scattered. See, this is what happens when the shepherds become brutish. They're consumed. They're taken in by the fire, the bringing in, the mingling in of understandings of men into the pure word and pure understanding of God, not teaching the law in its simplest form and let every man get understanding the way he's supposed to get it. Let him learn how to go to God. Hark, 22, hark. A report, behold, it comes in a great commotion out of the north country, to make the cities of Judah desolate, a dwelling place of jackals. And that's what it had became. See, this dwelling place of jackals. These jackals, King James calls them dragons. There ain't no dragon, unless we're talking about something that's been dragging around. The dragon here is something that's elongated. It's a reptile. It's a serpent. It's a lizard. It's something that has a forked tongue. Something that can go and speak lies. Listen, there's a report, and behold, it comes out from a great commotion out of the north country. This north country is always where God stores up his treasuries of judgment, as we just heard about. Judah, this house of praisings, is made desolate. By what? Their idolatry, because they trusted in their idols. We'll find this out as we go through Jeremiah. 23, O Lord, I know that man's way is not his own. It is not in a man to direct his steps as he walks. O Lord, I know that it is you that do these things. It is you that has directed the steps, that has brought them to this place, that has delivered them up, that have gathered them together, so you could pour out your indignation. 24, O Lord, correct me, but in measure, not in your anger, lest you diminish me. Correct me in measure, Lord. Bring me by the way slowly, lest you destroy me in your anger. Because you will not be able to learn the law. You're going to have to come by slow. You've been taught falsehood. You've been brought in by the way of ignorance, see. 25, pour out your wrath upon the nations that know you not, and upon the families that call not on your name. For they have devoured Jacob. Yes, they have devoured him and consumed him, and have laid waste his habitation. This place of his habitat. These words of God, this law, this that belongs to Jacob, this that was given to Israel. Pour out your wrath upon the nations that know you not, these that have made idols, these that have imputed, these that have mingled in. Upon the families that call not on your name. They may go to the Lord, but through another. See, and this is exactly what was going on in that period of time in Kings. See, this is what's been going on from the beginning. For they have devoured Jacob. this idolatry, these teachings of men, all this understanding from the nations have come in, and they have literally devoured Jacob. Yes, they have devoured him and consumed him and laid waste his habitation. And this was the punishment of God, see. But God declared that twice you would have to pay for your sins. Twice would you have to pay now, and twice you have paid. This is to witness now and be evident of who the servant was, even from the beginning, because God is made known, God has lifted up, God is going to raise up in the end and prove himself great. See, he will not give his glory to another. God alone has done this. God has worked this, even from the beginning, declaring the end of everything, has scattered you out in all the nations. Why? So he could bring you forth with a mighty hand in the sight of all the earth, so they will know, and there will be no doubt. See, this is a marvelous work of God. Even this marvelous work that they call the work of the end time, it's the end of idolatry. See, but it's only the beginning of blessings. All right, return. Let's move forward. Chapter 11.